Here are 20 things I've learned by the age of 20. YouTube channel. My name is ogheneochukow. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming. You're watching Ochukow's diary. First I want to thank you guys for the previous video. It's doing so well, fairly well, but I know it's going to get better. Today's video I'm going to be talking about 20 things I've learned by the age of 20. My birthday was last month and I wanted to do this video like last month, but I was like, let me just wait, let me just wait, because there's still so many things I'm learning and there's still so many things I'm going to learn. But today I have a book. I literally have things written down that I've learned so far in life and that I just want to let you know. These are lessons that I've learned from people. I've learned from people I've been around with, my parents, my sister, even her friends, my lecturers, so many things. And I summed it up to 20. There are more than 20, but these are the key things I've learned in my life, and I hope they help you. This topic is a bit confusing, isn't it? It's a bit confusing, but I'm liking it. So these are the 20 things I've learned. You can learn from example. You don't have to learn from doing something yourself. You can also learn from example. Many times people just, like when I was a teenager, I wasn't a rebellious teenager or like really rebellious or anything. I usually just believed, like I had an elder sister, so as a younger person, as a younger sister, a typical younger sister, I always had to learn from example. Like many things my sister did first. My sister entered the university first. My sister wrote jam first. My sister wrote like WAEC first. Like she did almost, in fact, everything she did first. So I really didn't have to try it out first to know how it was. I could learn it from her that, okay, this thing is like this, and if I do it like this, it's even down to my education. When I came to the university, my sister was just like the person I learned everything from, because she had already done it, and she'd be like, don't do this or do this. And especially down to like when I write exams, she'll tell you, please try as much as you can not to get carried over, try as much as you can not to offend a lecturer. So these things I believe you can learn from example. Yes, trying something is really nice, trying something for the first time, especially when you really don't have a choice but to try. Sometimes it's nice, but if you can't learn from example, like, oh, you have a neighbor in your house that did something, maybe the person tried a trade, the trader is in town and tried a trade, a new trade, and he lost money. You don't need anybody to tell you that you don't have to try that, because from example, an example has already told you that trying that thing is bad. But I'm not going to use that point to limit you from trying things out. Like, I'm not saying don't take risks, but if you can, learn from examples. Learn from people who are in the position you want to be. I learned this from a YouTuber. I had watched her video and I was like, perfection. Because like, why are you learning from somebody who's not in a position? I don't know how to break this to you. Okay, I want to become a good YouTuber. I want to become a very good YouTuber in the future, make money from it, and just establish myself in the YouTube space. And then I'm learning from someone who doesn't even have a YouTube channel. How am I going to? The person might have insights. I'm not saying some people are very insightful. They don't need to try something to know it, but to be on the safer side, you have to learn from somebody who has done this YouTube thing before to know it. So, and especially somebody who is doing really well, not just somebody who has done it and failed, somebody who is doing really well at it. This the YouTuber who I got this point from, she gave an example that somebody who divorced, a divorcee is giving you advice on how to keep a marriage. Like that contradicts itself. Like I said, I'm not saying that person cannot have insights, but that person can also have tips like, this is what did not work for me, and I think if I had done this differently, I would still be in the marriage or something like that. But at the end of the day, that's not your specialty. That's not something you should be saying, because nobody wants to look at you and be like, oh, I'm taking advice from somebody that got divorced. Divorce is not a bad thing. So many things lead to divorce, like abuse and everything. You cannot, there's no we're not going to slander divorcees. What I'm saying is a divorced person can teach people on how to become independent, and like there's a different specialty for you, not really telling somebody how to be in a successful marriage because yours wasn't really successful due to various reasons. So what I'm saying is, you want to become successful, like you want to become a good businessman, you should be looking at the likes of, in Nigeria at least, Dangote and the rest. Not somebody who hasn't even tried a business venture in their life. Like, you're not supposed to be listening to people like that. You listen to people who are in the position you want to be. That's stand for something and stand for it fully. If you don't stand fully for something, you stand for nothing. it can be some, it could be like a value point, or just like a particular quality in you that you do not compromise on. Like, okay, I can't be out of my house after 9. I'm sorry, I don't care what you're doing, I don't care if it's a party, I'm not going to be out of my house by 9. That's a principle, that's something you stand by. You don't compromise for nothing, you stand fully on it. Because if you stand, I always like principle people are more respected in society, not people who are easily swayed. That's something I had to learn really late. I was more of a people pleaser type, like, okay, I can just do it now. I'm easily swayed, and I'm trying better. I'm trying to be better at that, to not be easily swayed by things people say. So what I'm saying is, stand for something and stand fully on it. Like, if you don't want to do something, be very clear, concise about it. Like, I don't want to do this thing, or I really want to do this thing. I don't care if you guys are not doing it. When I was in the university, I always say something like, no matter, even my friends don't want to do something, if I really want to do it, I'm going to do it. As far as it's not something that's going to affect them. Like something like, okay, we're having a picnic, you don't want to go for the picnic. If I want to go for that picnic, I'm going to go for that picnic, and I will enjoy myself and I'll come back. It's nothing about anything, it's not about any this thing. It's just, I'm going to stand by something. I don't care if any other person doesn't want to stand by that. So stand for something and stand for it fully. That's the point I'm going to give you. Take care of your body and try and be healthy. It could be the little things like taking a walk, being healthy in your 20s and your 30s, whenever. It's just so important to be healthy as a person, because how you are in the 20s can affect how you are in your old age. And as we are still agile, like we still have enough, agility in us. I think it's better for us in this our age to be more active, so that in our old age we're going to enjoy the benefits of it. So I'm trying to be more, this is something I'm learning as I go as well. I'm trying to be more healthy, I'm trying to eat more healthy, I'm trying to exercise more, and just be healthy in general. I know it seems like I'm actually trying, because I've realized that if I start going old, if I cannot be agile now, I'm not going to be agile in my 50s. I'm going to be agile now, so I can be a little bit agile in my 50s. Intentional about everything you are doing in your life. Every single thing you're doing, be intentional about it. It could be down to, like, I learned this when I was a teenager. When I was in secondary school, I was so unintentional about everything. Like, I didn't pay attention to school. I was just semi-rebellious, because I really didn't do anything bad, like taking drugs or smoking or any of those things. It was more like I wasn't just serious about my education. I just wanted to play. So before I knew it, I was in my SS1, before I knew I was in SS2, before I knew I was in SS3, and then I was graduating. And at that point I was like, what? Like, I know, I'm not saying I'm the most brilliant student or anything. I knew if I had read, I would have been up there, but I wasn't really putting that effort. I would just come to class, barely have a complete note, and my sister was a role model. Like, sometimes they used to compare me like, oh, your sister is so smart, you're not seeing your sister, look at the way you are, you're not, I don't even dress properly to school. So I say, like, if I was more intentional then, do anything. And I learned in my university is that being smart, like the conventionally smart person that all this chat gush about, like having high grades, it's so easy. Like, it's not as hard as I used to think it was. It wasn't hard. It was just be consistent, be intentional, be consistent. You have an assignment, do it. You have to read for the test, just read a little bit, pay attention in class, and you're good to go. Sometimes, to the extent that they might even see your script and be like, okay, this person has a point. It might not be the point, but it has a point, and they give you a mark for it because you are intentional about it. That's just how it is. So I feel like if I had been more intentional in my secondary school, I would have been a very good student. But I thank God for the way my secondary school was, because it was what gave me the inspiration and the motivation to become better in my university. But I'm saying, if you can't be very intentional about everything you're doing. Learn to be single and try to appreciate being single. I'm not saying when you find love, oh my god, when you find love, please enjoy your love life. Enjoy it. No matter the age, I think love can be found any age, anytime. So whenever you find love, enjoy it. But try to learn to be single. Enjoy yourself. Try to understand yourself as a single person. I've always tried to understand myself. Like, sometimes I just look at myself like, am I someone that people want to date? Like, what are the characteristics that sets me apart from the different person that's going to say, okay, this is what I like about this person that is not seeing the other person? Or even just, what are the characteristics that I have that people can talk to other people like, oh, this is my person, and I like so and so about her. So I try to learn how to be single and trying to appreciate being single. And I've been in positions where I didn't even understand myself. So I'm saying, learn to be single, learn to appreciate being single. Have creative hobbies. Creative hobbies is going to correlate with the last point I'm going to give when I'm done with this video. But having creative hobbies, just firstly, a creative hobby can one day possibly lead to a job opportunity. You can never tell, because in this world sometimes you don't actually work with what you graduate. I learned that as a Nigerian student who has graduated, most times you don't actually end up doing what you studied in school. So you have to have a creative hobby that can one day be used. It could be, you know how to write, you write a book. It could even be reading, it could be painting. Some people have creative hobbies like painting that they learned just like, oh, I can paint. Some even playing guitar, and then you get employed by a church and you're earning money. Some can even be like any instruments at all, like the drums. There's so many creative hobbies you can have as a teen/youth that can one day correlate to it being your source of income. So have a creative hobby. Be patient. When I mean be patient, I mean be patient. Be patient in your demands to your parents, be patient in your demands to people, and be patient in general. The patient dog always eats the fattest bone. I'm not saying do not be a hustler, do not try to pursue your things and just like want to be determined to have things. I'm saying in your determination, learn some patience. Things are not going to come easily. Like I've literally been doing this for almost 6 years now, and I've learned from that time span that things don't actually come easily. You have to be patient, pray over it, and just keep hoping and keep doing what you're doing and keep being better at it. And one day it's going to be, because if you take the fast road, sometimes taking the fast road can be good. Let's not even say. Some people have luck and taking the fast road just might give them what they want that lasts for a long time. But many times it's not actually like that. So try and be patient, especially with your parents as well. Do not rush things, okay? I'm going to use an example in secondary school and university. Sometimes you see students literally writing WAEC SS1. Why are you writing your WAEC at SS1? You've not learned anything, and then they come to university and they can't go further because they're like, they don't know anything. So don't rush. Take your time, learn, experience things, enjoy your secondary school days, and then you transcend to the university stage. So don't try to rush. Be patient. Respect your parents, respect them. It says in the Bible, honor your father and mother so that your days may be long. Sometimes there's always going to be exceptions, but exception is not the rule. There are always going to be exceptions, but the exception is not the rule. That sometimes our parents are not good people. The parents who have left their children, beat, abuse their children constantly and cause trauma. Those are not the parents I'm talking about. I'm talking about parents who have worked constantly to put food on your table, parents who have made sure that you have clothes to wear, a roof over your head, you are eating, when you're sick, there's medicine, there's love and everything. Those kind of parents are people you have to honor them in your prayers, honor them in your words. Do not slander your parents. So as a teenager, a youth, whatever, that's something I've learned. Whenever I honor my parents, whenever I pray for them, good things happen to me. So always honor your parents so that your days may be long. Do not rush into sex. Do not rush into having sex with anybody. There are a lot of diseases. There are lots of diseases mostly, apart from even seeing pregnancies and then pregnancies when you're not in a marriage or something like that. There are more than a lot of diseases out there. There's literally like a plethora of diseases out there that can affect you. I'm not saying if you find the love of your life, you want to go through with that, you do it. It's your decision. But what I'm saying is do not rush into it. I won't say, oh, because participant A is already down the road, I want to rush. No. Take your time, understand yourself, understand your body, understand the person you are with, and then do it. You don't just want to rush into it. Is eliminate envy and try and be contented with what you have. A lot of people are not contented with it. Like I've always said that there's always a tier of distribution, there's a tier of wealth. No matter how wealthy you are, there's always somebody that's more wealthier than you, except the most wealthiest person. I don't actually know who the wealthiest person is. In the stage where I am, I could say, oh, I don't have the latest Dolce & Gabbana bag, I don't have the latest Dior sandals, I don't have the latest Hermes bag, and then I'm sad. But then there's someone who doesn't have food on their table, like you're not eating anything in days. So they're different. Like there are different problems worrying people. You cannot say because you don't have this, and then you start doing things that you're not supposed to do just because you want to get that particular thing. You have to be contented with what you have, and do not envy people. You can say, oh, I want to be like this person when I grow up, I want to be like this person in the future, but then you don't take it that you want to be, that your wants one day become an end, like, oh my god, why does she have everything and I don't have nothing? And then one day, because you're always comparing and comparing and comparing, it one day turns to envy and you're becoming an envious person. So eliminate envy in your life. Be confident. Be confident in your decisions. Be confident in your life. Sometimes some people don't even know. I learned this when I was about to do my defense. There was a situation of a girl who she didn't read. No, she did not actually. She didn't pay enough attention to her project. And let me just put it like that. She didn't pay enough attention to her project. And then when the defense came around, everyone was like, oh my god, how are you going to defend? People were just doubting her. And then she went there, she defended magically because she has the confidence of like a demigod, and she defended properly, and then she got the mark. So sometimes people might doubt you, okay? People might doubt you, but your confidence is going to take you far. You might know something, and if you're not confident about it, people are not going to be. Another lecturer told me something like that before, that sometimes if you are very confident and you explain something really well, you can even convince the best of the best that that thing you're saying is not correct, because you were able to be confident in your decision, you're able to be confident in your explanation. So being confident will always take you far. Knowledge will take you far, but being confident is going to take you further. I'm not saying pompous, there's a difference between confidence and pomposity, but try and be confident in life. When you enter a room, do not just sunk in your head and like, oh my god. When you enter a room, you look at people and then you move, no matter who you're confronting. If you're confident, you're going to go far. Is try and be closer to God. This is a very good tip. Well, no matter the age you are, but that's something I've learned, and it took me a lot of time to actually get to do it. Being closer to God is always going to, God gives you that confidence that no man is going to give you. It just has you, when you're close to God, you have that confidence over your life that things are going to be okay, things are going to be better. So being closer to God is the key. Faith and confidence go hand in hand. You want to have God and God plus your confidence, top tier combination. Not tell people everything. Oh my god, this is very important. And as somebody who has a social media platform, you're going to think, oh, I tell people everything. Nope, I don't. I try to keep things as secretive as possible, like down to like some people tell people everything, like, oh, I ate this food today, oh, I drove this car today, oh, I went out, I went to this place, oh, I'm in this place right now. Like, you do not want to be so telling, like tell. You're always saying something. No, you don't want to do that, because some people are not good. Now, so many bad people in the world that want the worst for you, and if you're constantly telling them your plans, just know that that plan is not going to come through, because they're going to do anything humanly possible to make sure that that plan does not come through. So you don't want to be so telling about things you do. Celebrate your small wins so that your big wins are going to be celebrated as well. When you just like, whenever I have like a new subscriber, I'm so happy, I'm so giddy. I'm like, I tell my sister like, oh, I just had a new subscriber. She's like, wow, a new subscriber, okay. I try to make myself be happy for each subscriber, because I don't want a situation where I'm not happy, and then because if you feel like, oh, I'm going to celebrate when it's bigger, you're always going to still be needing more, you're not going to be satisfied. But I get satisfied with each win, so that when that big win that I'm really expecting comes, I'm still going to be just as satisfied and even more appreciative. Because you might feel like you are appreciative, but when that thing comes, you're going to be sounding like a very pompous person that's not appreciative. So celebrate your big win. Chase health and not beauty standards. Oh my god, this is very important. The beauty standard changes as much as we blink our eyes. Today it's the BBL queens, tomorrow is the slim people. Being slim is like a normal thing, but sometimes it's a beauty standard as well. Just like thick people were once a beauty standard, and then I feel like everybody's going to be a beauty standard at some point. So if you're constantly changing your body according to the beauty standard, you're going to get exhausted really quickly. It's a lot out there. Like, just chase health. If you're a healthy person, it doesn't matter anything. You're healthy, you might still have a little bit of tummy. It's healthy to have a little bit of tummy, not it's still healthy to have abs. I'm just saying that if your body cannot physically, or you don't really think you can achieve that, You don't have to force yourself to get a liposuction just because you want to have a flat stomach. You can still, as far as you're healthy, like you are healthy, you look healthy, you are healthy inside, I don't think you have to chase the beauty standard. Instead, chase the health. Go out and live more. Don't just exist in your house. You're not going out. Something that this is a fun thing you're supposed to go and do. You're always staying indoors. No, you don't want to be like that. Go out and live more. We don't have an eternity on this earth. We just have a limited time. You want to do as much as you can do in that limited time. It doesn't have to be something expensive. It could just be meeting up with friends, having a fun game night, something that you're going to remember and laugh over as the years progress. So live a little. Live a little. Stop people pleasing. I think I've emphasized on that before, but stop people pleasing. Do not always people please. If you want to do something genuinely from your heart, you do it. If you don't want to do something genuinely from your heart, you do it. Don't say, okay, because I don't want them to be angry with me, I don't want them to hate me for not doing it, let me just do it. Even when you know physically, mentally you don't want to be in that space, you're going to just force yourself because you want to be there. Sometimes you have to just go by your intuition, and sometimes your intuition is always right. Your intuition can tell you that you don't have to be there, and then something happens and you're like, oh, if I had known, I would have listened to my intuition. Or just, it doesn't even have to be intuition. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Do not depend on your friends. Don't depend. No, people don't like people who are so dependent. Do not be so dependent on your friends. Like for every decision you want to make, let me tell my no, and do not be so dependent on your friends for like, oh, I want to do this, I have to call my friends. Or these people have lives to live, forgetting the fact that sometimes your friends can be anyhow people, but these people also have lives to live. Like, you cannot just be burdening them with your. It might be fun for some friends. Some friends are really close, they do almost everything together, it's fun for them. But if you're not in that trajectory yet, I don't think you should be so dependent on your friends. Try and live your life as an alone person. Start a business. Starting a business, it could just be a business to support yourself in college, or a business to just have a hang of things. Sometimes a business can turn to be your source of income in the future. It depends on, I'm not saying everybody has to start a business, but if you can't start a business and start it early, start it in a stage where people are likely to buy, and that's usually college or secondary school, because people, it just interact with more people there than you actually do any other time. You see more people in your age bracket. So starting a business, they can also lead to like a successful business in the future. So that's going to be my last tip. These are the lessons I've learned so far as a 20-year-old. I hope you learned a few things from the lessons I've learned, and if you have some other lessons that you've learned along the way, you can put it down in the comment section so that other people can see it. Well, I hope to see you in the next video. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, like and comment what you think about the video. Bye.